I'm selling seeds, grains, and agrochemicals, but that's just academical now. 'Cause things ain't going right. And as I travel down life's highway, things just don't go in my way. Adverse campus signs keep coming into sight. I live my life on sloping ground, and all my dreams keep sliding down. I just don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess, dear Lord, I just depend on you to see me through. And when I start another day, it's to you, dear Lord, I'll pray that everything will go okay. No adverse campus signs coming my way. For this I pray. Okay, you want to know what that's all about? Well, years ago, I went for a job interview near Cambridge, and I took my daughter with me. And she's a really good singer, unlike me, of course. Anyway, we got talking about songs, and I said, well, it's fairly easy as long as you get a bit of inspiration. She said, no, it's not, it's impossible. And I said, well, the first two signs I see, I'll make a song out of it. Anyway, we went down this sort of back road, and there's this wood silo, big high thing, full of corn or whatever silos are full of, and had seeds, grains, and chemicals written on the side in big white letters. Getting a bit flaky, but it's still there. The next sign was sign saying adverse camber on the road. So that's the reason for adverse camber and seeds, grains, and agrochemicals. There you go. Easy peasy. Anyway, let's go on to something more interesting for you guys. My youth. Now, in the old days, we were taught this mantra. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but names will never hurt me. It toughened you up mentally. You got tough physically, running around and all that, just falling over and scraping knees and breaking a few bones maybe. But mentally is more important in some ways. Now these days, I really hate it when I see in the papers or watch TV and see that some young kid, 17, 18, or even younger, committed suicide because some idiot on YouTube has been calling them names. Now I'm not saying that names can't hurt you, because obviously they can a bit, but if you're made tough enough and taught just to ignore them, then you've got a better chance. That's my message for today, basically. One other thing I want to talk about is flying. I actually got my private pilot license in 1987, so a bit what I'm talking about. My first flight was when I was about 6, maybe 7, not much older than that. And I grabbed this long, thin sheet of plywood and held it like this, and launched myself off this sort of hill. It wasn't a very steep hill. Well, it was fairly steep, not very tall, maybe 50 to 100 feet, maybe, going down towards the sea. So the wind was coming up from the sea. I was up there, launched myself off, and for a brief few seconds, I actually flew. And then the thing whipped out my hand. I fell down on my backside, slid down the hill, cut my pants, tore them in places. Got home, Mum gave me a quick clip across the ear for doing such silly things. That was it. And also down the road from us, towards at the end of the war, was a scrapyard, and in it was a pile of Spitfires, believe it or not. They're all there, except for the guns had been removed, gone off for some other purpose. And these Spitfires were destined to be made into pots and pans. Anyway, we each stood in one, couldn't sit in them because they were too small, stood up and pretended to shoot down Messerschmitts. I got at least a dozen. Must have been an ace. So there you are. And then later on, as I say, I got my pilot's license eventually. It took me ages. It took me nearly 2 years. Why? The weather in this country. When I started, it was raining and pouring. Got to the Eastlands Airport. Got there. Supposed to clear by midday. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, still misty or raining, whatever. I eventually got flying and really enjoyed myself, including several trips abroad and flying in Brazil and various other places. So, had some fun. One other thing I want to start talking about is the situation down the bottom of the road from us. I live in a place called Ports Road, and down the bottom, some ne'er-do-wells have set up some barriers, preventing the locusts from reaching the beach on the loch. This is Upper Loch Earn, and I used to go down there when we first moved here. Went swimming, took my boat down there, which I built a wee little dinghy, rode on the loch. Great fun. But these ne'er-do-wells said they own this bit of land on the road, which I think is impossible really, put barriers up. And this started back in 2020, I think it was, when the issue started by putting huge great rocks on the foreshore. We complained to the Rivers Agency who look after such places, and they got these rocks removed. Next thing we knew, these barriers were put up. And later on, I will give you some photographs and pictures of these to show you this sort of thing going on. And we're still fighting now. The Highways Department won't admit that the road is adopted all the way to the foreshore, which it must be, because that road was there way before there was any buildings down there. There's no house at the bottom. Belonged to one of the ne'er-do-wells live there. They don't own the place. They're that bad. Squatters, basically. But we'll talk about it later. Anyway, I won't go any further now. I'll just keep you updated as things develop. So take care of yourselves out there, and bye.